sometimes you're gonna have a bad matchup. But there's always a way to make the best out of it. So the resources most people think about when they think about League of Legends is the gold that you need to make your items, right? When you're new, you don't really think about the other things. So I'm going to kind of teach you how to win through small advantages so that no matter what lane you're facing, no matter how many gank you receive, no matter what happens in the game, you can be sure to make the most of it. And does that mean you're going to win every game? Well, obviously no, because you have 5 other people and they might not all know how to do this. It's the small things, right? But if you improve your win rate from 50% to 55%, it's still gonna make you climb. So you gotta focus on yourself and not on the rest of the team, because they can do whatever the hell they want as long as you get better at the game. Is there anything to complain about, right? So without further ado, we'll jump into a replay that I have. That's me playing yesterday, okay? I played that one, and I think I'm this Garen over here, and I think the replay is pretty good to show you how to play against a tough lane matchup. So here is probably one of the most bulliest bullies in the whole game, Darius, right? I'm gonna be playing against Darius. I'm just gonna switch the vision to everybody. I'm gonna be playing against this Darius. Now this is on my Smurf. It's platinum yellow, something like that. It's nothing big, right? But it's still pretty cool to see, and this will work at any point at anything, okay? This will work in bronze, this strategy will work in challenger. People have been doing it forever, and it's how top lane functions. So I'm gonna show you exactly how I played this lane. And did I win the lane? No, because Garen can really not do much against Darius, right? You can trade a little bit early on, but as you'll see, I tried to trade early on and it kind of backfires. Now, one thing is that if you play Garen, it's really important that you try to test the limits of your opponent, right? If you manage to get a good level 1 or 2 trade on them, and they kind of just let you do whatever the hell you want, that's good. It's not always going to be the case, but testing the limits of your opponents are always something you need. So let's jump into the gameplay, and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. So I start with Q because I want to run up at him. I notice he's not around, right? So I kind of just slowly push the wave. You don't want to auto-attack or use any spell on the wave because then it's going to push to his side and you're kind of screwed. You kind of just want the wave to slowly push, right? The goal of this is to slowly push the first wave, do the same thing on the second wave, and then push like crazy once the third wave arrives, the one with the cannon minion, because then they're going to be under tower and you have all the rain you want in the game. That's going to be on good matchups. On bad matchups, you kind of just want them to push to you, which most of the time people will do without even knowing, right? So you don't want to push towards the enemy, you want to be pushing towards yourself. How do you do this? Well, you can see I slowly pushed my wave here. He's going to auto-attack a little bit. I'm going to trade with him somewhat. It's going to be whatever, but you'll see I just let him take care of the wave, and at lower yellow this is gonna do all the work. So you can see here we're equal on minion once he gets this minion, and now I'm gonna trade with him a little because I just want to see how good he is at the game. But you'll see Darius is definitely really strong, even trading in my wave. If he was to land this ability I would be dead, so I had to flash here. Thankfully I'm Garen, and you'll see he has Doran Blade, I have Doran's shield. I'm gonna regen well enough, and you can see here, what's that? All of those minions are gonna push towards me. So I'm chilling. I'm good. I will let him push as long as he wants. I'm gonna trim the wave a little bit so it doesn't push too fast, you know? And what this does is, if in a world where Fiddlestick wants to gank, it leaves him very open to a gank, right? This wave is gonna push soon to be here. You'll see. And this leaves him very open to a gank, and this leaves me very protected from a gank, right? How is the jungler gonna gank me? From here? Well, good luck coming. If I see him pop up here, I'm just gonna run to my tower. There's nothing he can do. But what about him, right? If you switch to his perspective, if he sees Fiddle coming here, and Fiddle just walks like this, he's not gonna react. He can't go anywhere. He can go up there and try to outplay us in this pocket of bushes and everything. But this is very dangerous for him. So let's continue the replay, right? he's gonna slowly push, and this is exactly what you want in this situation. You're gonna slowly let him push to you, and this is gonna be dangerous the higher up you go, because the more people are gonna actually try to dive you. Here I could go for an all-in. He doesn't have his Q for a while. I could just try to beat him. I have level 2, however, and he's level 3, so that would be very dangerous. I'm gonna try to take the wave and leave it here, but that's okay. And I'm just gonna farm under tower, right? We're gonna trade a little, and Fiddle arrives. He does literally nothing, but you'll see here, since he was trading, but at the same time trying to shove the wave, I got a pretty good trade on him, right? Because he didn't have his apprehend, because he didn't have much of his thing. I could just W some of his damage, right? I'm going in, and I'm doing pretty good damage. He tries to get me back, but this is the kind of trades you want, right? Fiddle coming in doesn't really change anything. I'm just gonna shove it a little bit, and this is the next part of it, right? We see him getting attacked. Now, this will stay here if I don't touch it. So now I'm good with leaving this here and trying to help Fiddle. So I'm kind of looking like, does he need my help? Does he not need my help? I see him backing away. I see Darius is here. I'm pretty sure Lilia is around. And as a matter of fact, she's leaving. So he's just very cocky here. I'm going to take a little trade on him. And I'm going to push like crazy, because this is what we should do. Actually, this is what I wanted to do, but I see him I see him staying and just healing up a little bit, and I'm just like, okay, well, if you want to push back to me, I'm gonna stay protected. I'm gonna keep being protected, right? He's gonna push back to me. I'm gonna stop the wave here, and he's gonna lose like crazy if he decides to back, right? So I hit the minions. He's gonna try to push this in. Meanwhile, the rest of the game is gonna be over, right? Everybody's getting pushed in. Lilia can do whatever she wants. Fiddle is not getting any help. So right now we're not losing. Right now, even though we're down on CS, right? A little bit of gold. It's not the end of the world. He's gonna try to get a trade, and we're fairly similar. So while the CS doesn't really matter, what's really important is that in levels, we're fairly at the same level, right? So after this wave, I'm going to be almost level 5. I see him, whenever he backs off the screen like that, you can assume he's going to back, right? He's backing. And this is the most important, right? A lot of people, when they see the opponent backing, they'll try to back the first moment they have, right? I know you, if you're if you're gold or lower, you're going to shove this, right? You're going to kill the minions here, and then you're just going to press B. And what that's going to do is that it's going to create a wave that's going to slowly push towards his wave, and he's going to be able to hold it here. And now you're going to be in the position he's been all game. You're going to be stuck on his side of the board, very easily to be ganked, very easy to just die from any angle, really, and you're not going to be protected from anything. Plus, he's going to be invincible. Where is the jungler going to gank him? From here and dive him on the tower? Fiddle is not going to do that, right? So you want to take this and to shove the next wave. You want your minion to touch his tower. This way, he cannot freeze it. Freezing is a term I'll say slightly, and so you'll see, like here, I'm going to use literally all of my damaging abilities. And he's going to walk back, right? He doesn't have teleport, he doesn't have anything, and you'll see my minions are going to touch his tower. So here, I'm thinking my minions are going to touch his tower. What you want is for your front line to touch the tower, and to the back line to be able to be within reach, right? You want at least one of the backline minion to be within reach, and that's exactly what's going to happen. The tower is going to take aggro of one of those minions, and that is more than enough to push it back to me. He's gonna lose a whole wave to this, almost. They're gonna fight, and he's gonna lose a lot of minions, as you can see. We're just gonna look at the minions he's losing, right? And during that time, I took my back, and I'm walking away, right? So we lost 2 minions, and we lost 1. He lost 3 minions, and we lost 2. And now he's back, right? And he's gonna slow push it. I would argue that fast pushing it is a better idea, but you'll see this. He's gonna slow push it and try to push it under your tower, but we're Garen, we're chilling, we're living the best life. And if you see in the gold we have, right, he has 1600 and we have 1500. It's not that bad. So right now we can't do much. Our cannon is gonna die, his cannon is still alive, and it's gonna start pushing really, really fast. That also means he's gonna hit level 6 way before us. And even then, it's not that bad of a gap, right? As you can see. So we're just gonna let him push. We're gonna be super defended from any gank. If they wanna dive us at level 6, that's something they can do. But keep in mind we have our W, right? Courage, which is really good. It gives us 30% damage reduction. And we're just gonna farm on the tower, right? And there's not much he can do to us. If he attacks us under tower, like he does, he's gonna take a tower shot, or he's not gonna be able to prevent us from doing anything because of his bleed. And this is just how you play a hard matchup, right? You don't necessarily care about the laning phase, you don't necessarily care about anything, you just take the small advantages. And here you'll see, Fiddle is around, he's pushing, right? He's gonna have a hard time not dying to a gank if Fiddle was to gank, which does happen, and he does die to the gank, so we'll see exactly how that happens. You can see he's gonna keep on pushing. I'm gonna keep the wave here, because here is a good spot for me, right? Here, he can die to a Fiddle ult this way, to a Fiddle ult from the wall, right? He's very vulnerable. Like, if we look at this vision, like, what if Fiddle was right here, okay? What if Fiddle was right here, right now? He's just ulted this way. And he's going to be very vulnerable. He's going to keep on pushing. And this is exactly what's going to happen in just a minute. So keeping the wave on your side, not hitting the wave like a crazy mad lad, not hitting the wave with all of your abilities, because I know a lot of you do it. You hit the wave with all the abilities you've got just for fun, just to push it in. That's not how it goes, right? So I know you want to use as many abilities as you can, right? I know you feel like if you kill those minions faster, you're gonna have more gold, but the truth of the matter is they just need to die. If you're there when they die and you do the last hit, you're gonna get a hit in. You just need to be patient. You do not need to die for 69 gold. As long as you're alive, experience is more valuable than gold. Therefore, if you're just matching in level, like you see, he's level 6, I'm level 7, because I played the wave properly, right? And now he's gonna die because the wave is stuck there and he can't do anything about it, right? It's slowly gonna push towards him, yeah, for sure. But if he kills he's gonna go for this minion at some point, and when he goes, he's gonna be screwed. And so we're going to do exactly what I just said. This is another notion that's very, very important, okay? Okay, whenever the wave hits your tower, okay? If he lets you start pushing it, you can create a massive wave so big he's never going to want to fight you in it, right? So here he's scared. Understandably so, and you don't want to just have this situation happen right here. So you need to take all of your minion and push it in, right? So how you're gonna do that is start last hitting slowly, but as long as you're dealing more damage than he is, you'll amass a big wave. So you'll see, I'm not gonna do much to the minions, right? I'm just gonna last hit them, some of them, right? But my team is gonna get so much bigger than he is. Right, I killed the minion first, the cannon minions, and then I just start spamming. And you can see right here, my wave is huge compared to his, right? And now, when the wave is big enough, I'm just gonna use literally everything I have, okay? I'm gonna use my Q, I'm gonna use my E, I'm gonna use my whip if I have it. I don't have the whip, but I'm gonna use everything I've got on the wave because I want, okay? Fun fact, the wave are mirrored, so you know exactly where his wave is. If our wave is here, like you'll see, just if I do this, if our wave is here between the first and second tower, his wave is going to be here between the first and second tower, right? The waves are mirrored, so you can see exactly where they are. Your goal is that your minion touch his tower before your next wave arrives here, right? So you really need to do this fast, okay? You need to use everything you've got. And here, why doesn't he fight back, right? You're going to be like, oh, it's Darius. Why doesn't he fight back? Well, he knows that if he fights here, this is a lot of damage, okay? These guys do 30 damage a bop. This guy does 40 damage a bop. And these guys do like 10 damage a bop, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times, let's say 25, okay? Just to round it up, is 150 damage per rotation, okay? That's 2 auto attacks per rotation that they do. They have an attack speed of 0.68. That's essentially that's going to be 150 damage per 2 seconds, plus the cannon that does like 40 per seconds. So the cannon and everything are gonna deal him pretty much 75 plus 40, which is gonna be 105, 115. He's gonna take 115 damage per second, okay? 115 damage DPS plus me, right, is more than he can handle right now, especially like he doesn't have any rotation, and I don't have my rotation either. I have Ignite, so, you know, he cannot take that much, and he knows that. And if he was to fight me, I would win. Just straight up, I have my ult, I have Ignite, I have all those minions. He's not winning, right? And he knows that. So he's gonna let me shove it in. As long as I walk with the wave, it's gonna touch, right? And then, whenever the wave touch, I immediately go into the bush, so he doesn't know what I'm doing, and I back the minute they touch, okay? Why? Because the faster I back here, the faster I'm gonna be back in lane, right? The more you're gonna be able to do stuff. And doing this, you're gonna force the waves, as you're gonna see. The waves are gonna meet here, which means his wave is gonna reinforce faster, right? And then he's gonna slowly push to my tower, and he's gonna be stuck in the same exact position. He's gonna be stuck in a position where Fiddle can gank and where I cannot be ganked, okay? So we'll see. Like, I walk back to lane. This doesn't matter. I walk back to lane, okay? And what will you know? He is once again stuck in a position that's really uncomfortable for him, right? He's stuck here. His wave is gonna slowly push into mine, but as long as I trim it, he's gonna be sticking here. And now what happens, right? Now he doesn't know where the hell anything is, right? He knows Lilia is bot lane, so he's not getting any help right now. And for his merit, the game is 11-3, so, you know, Lilia is doing a good job, but he doesn't know where the hell Fiddle is, right? So he's gonna try to fight me, which is a really bad idea. He's gonna try to do what I did, right? Fight me away from his wave. What he should be doing is hit every single one of these minions with his Q and try to kill the cannon minion as fast as possible, but he's not doing that. He should walk with his wave, not alone. And he's gonna do exactly the same thing as I did, but I'm gonna hold the wave, okay? I'm gonna hold the wave as much as I can. And sadly, he walks with it way too well, so I'm gonna be stuck taking all of them. But since my minions didn't stay here long, they're gonna meet not too far away. I ward, so I'm kind of like telling him, hey, you can't back here. I'm not gonna let you back for free, right? I'm not gonna let you do that because I want to be sure of where he is. I want to be able to tell my team if he rotates. I want to be able to tell everybody, right? So you want to know where he is. If he backs, you want to be aware of it, and he's gonna shove it in again, and he has to walk with it, or else I'm just gonna hold it, right? Now he uses everything, and I'm like, okay, I'm deciding to fight. He wants to finish his stack. We're not gonna let him stack anything. And he's, once again, just look at how much time he's spending in a vulnerable position, right? This is what you want. Are you gonna win every game? Definitely not, right? You're not gonna win every game like that. There's a few games you just can't win. In fact, this game is a loss, as you can see by the difference, right? My jungler is 0 and 3. My mid laner is 1 and 2. This game is not gonna go well, okay? I stacked everything I could in my power to make it go well, and that's good enough. Am I happy of how I played? Well, I made some mistake later on in the game, but the laning phase was pretty much all I could dream of, besides the trade level 2, where I lost a bunch of HP. But that's just how you test the limits of a player. So he's gonna shove, and he's really uncomfortable here. So he wants to shove this really fast. Like, where is he gonna go? If he gets ganked from this side, right? What the fuck happened if he gets ganked from anywhere, right? What if Fiddle was here? Well, if Fiddle was here, something like this would happen. And then I use my ult as a little bit of overdoing it. And we're gonna shove the wave as fast as possible, right? And that's exactly what you want to be doing. And the game, if the game was going well here, I would touch the tower, take a plate, take one plate only, and then back. If the game was going well, but then I'm gonna get greedy because the game is not going well. It's 12-4. So I'm gonna take the plate. I'm gonna try to take 2 plates, and then I'm gonna try to take the wave, and it's gonna backfire. And that's gonna be the end of laning phase pretty much, because after that I go help the rest of my team. But I wanted to focus on the laning phase. So you can see here, he's backing into the lane, and I'm gonna back off, right? He's gonna, he lost like a wave and a half of minion by the time he gets there. Yeah, a wave and a half of minion EXP by the time he gets there. Maybe a bit more. Nah, he's gonna get the EXP for that one. And now he is back, and you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do the exact same. We're gonna let him shove, and he's gonna come here, and he's gonna be in an uncomfortable position. And yes, Fiddle is not always gonna gank, right? Yes, Fiddle can be done. Junglers are not always gonna do this. But you can see, he was 0-3, and just by us being good enough, we gave him the opportunity to do something as a jungler, right? And that was all us, because he would never have ganked if I was just pushing with all of my abilities 100% of the time. So we're just gonna walk back, and that's gonna pretty much be how the game goes, right? And you'll see, nothing much happens. He kills us at this point, but this is because we're starting to fight. And so you can see, he's gonna start shoving, right? He's gonna try to get us with the Q. He's gonna try to zone us off of the wave. But like I said, those minions don't need to die now. I'm gonna get the gold and EXP whenever they die, right? I'm gonna get it no matter what. So I don't need to force anything as long as I'm in range to get the EXP. He's just gonna slowly shove it in. Now here, what I would do if I was him would be shove this thing like crazy, right? I would Q, I would W, I would even E all the minions. I would try to shove this as fast as possible so it touches my tower. He's not gonna do that. He's just gonna play with the wave, and that's not what you want, right? You want at some point, whenever you're in an uncomfortable position, to shove it into the tower whenever the next wave arrives, right? So we can take a look. We'll back it up a little bit. Okay, so here what he's doing is fine. Not touching the wave, really, just letting it shove. Now, the moment I see this wave arrive, right now, whenever the waves are gonna touch, right here, okay, I would use literally everything in my power to try to shove this wave in. That way, he ensures that he has a safe back, he has a window to do whatever he wants, he can harass me on the tower. If his junglers there, they can dive me, obviously his jungler's bot lane, but if anything happened, but what he's gonna do, and you're gonna see why you want to shove it in at some point, is gonna be exactly that, right? He's just gonna chill around. He's gonna try to walk it in, but then my minions are gonna block, and then he's just gonna try to chill, right? And he could shove this in no matter what, but right now he could be getting a really good back timing. But instead, he's just like trying to chill, right? And then he's gonna walk around, but now his back timing is gone, right? He cannot, and we can see like how much gold he has. If I am smart, we can see how much gold he have. He has 800 gold, right? He could buy something with 800 gold, right? He could probably finish his item or something. So he's gonna keep pushing to me, and in this matchup, there's really nothing you can do. If you try to fight him all out, you're just going to lose. Darius is one of those champions where you just hope you're gonna be more useful than him in the later team fight. Now here, once again, I would just use everything I have if I was him. I would use my Q, I would use my W, I would use my E, I would use everything on the minions to make sure they get on the tower. He does not do that, and he's going to be in an uncomfortable position at some point. Right, so his minion arrived to my tower, but he's here. And look, I know that my jungler is not existent this game, but it's not always going to be like that. And yeah, we're gonna fight, and he's gonna kill me because at this point I have to try something, right? The game is lost basically, but that's basically how you play a wave, how you play a lane that you just cannot win, right? And I'm gonna show you, and we're gonna look at how like random moments throughout this whole map, okay, during the first 15 minutes, and you're gonna see how many of them he spent here, right? So this was at the beginning, this was here, he spent it 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 here. Now we're shoving and we're backing, right? I'm here. He spent it here. He spent it here. We're backing. He's here. Right? And that's just to show you guys, because he's a threat doesn't really matter. If he never kills you, his bullying doesn't work, right? If you look at our gold differential, well, I'm actually ahead on gold. Somehow, right? Because I was there to push the wave correctly. Because I was there whenever I could get the plating gold. And because I was here whenever I could get a kill. And imagine if my jungler did play for me, right? Well, that's... If I kept the wave there, if he ganked every time my wave was there, that would probably have been a one game, right? Fiddlestick would probably be 3 and 4, and I would be 2 and 0, and we could probably take over the game from there. This is not what happened, but then again, it's all about putting all the chances on your side. I'm gonna do more of these, so I don't want to hammer in the point too much. This was just a small video to show you that it's not because you're losing a wave, because you're losing a matchup, because the lane seems unwinnable that you need to do anything. If you just sit back and relax, you can do literally anything in League of Legends. Basically, this boils down to don't die, and you don't necessarily need to force a moment if you know you're not going to win the fights. If you know you're not going to win the fights, your moment's going to come for you, right? It's a concept I had a lot bot lane. Bot lane is basically level 2, everybody fights, and then after that, you're just chilling, right? And if you lost the fight, you don't have the agency, and if you won the fight, you have the agency, right? And if you lost the fight, you just have to survive, wait CS, and your moment is going to come. I did nothing this wave, right? This laning phase, I used nothing on him. All my focus was on the wave, right? If we look at any moment, okay? Any moment at all, my focus was entirely on the wave. He's almost full HP the whole time, because I know fighting him is mostly a mistake, right? I know if I fought him, I would probably die. And as Garen, I have the privilege to just decide what I put my resources to. If he decides to, if I queue a minion and he queues me, well, my passive is just gonna work, right? My passive is gonna do its thing, and right here, if he fought me, he knows he would die, right? So it's all something to think about. I'll leave you guys on that, and if you have any comment, any questions, let me know. If you've learned something, please subscribe and like the videos. It helps immensely. And I'll see you guys in the next one, because there will be more. See ya!